Welcome everybody back to a brand new episode of the Lookout Podcast, and we are here, we are live. If it sounds like we're in an empty room, it's cause we are. I am Meelz, I am here with LJ himself, in the flesh, in the person, in...
Lookout Live, baby.
Lookout Live.
Lookout Live, I love it.
I know, we should have, I don't know, man. So we're here at Anime NYC. It is the third day of Anime NYC. I am tired.
Oh yeah, it's been a lot going on.
Tired AF. But this is our second year doing this. It's a great experience. Last year you were only here for the 2 days.
I finally get the full 3-day experience.
And you realize that third day is
the third day is like, I don't know how to explain it.
I'm tough.
Coasted.
I'm coasted. 3 days is a lot.
3 days is a lot. And like, it's not like that Friday is like, they start later, obviously, because, you know, people still got work and jobs and lives. But that Friday, you really just hit the ground running, and then you're just full-blown sprint for the next 3 days. They try to slow it down on a Sunday, but even still.
Well, it ends early today. Yeah. So it is what it is. But we're here. We have a very special episode today. We're going to release our full interview. Not personally our one-on-one interview. I guess it was like a bunch of people in the room. But we're going to release our press junket interview with King Vader. If you don't know King Vader, he's a content creator. He's very popular on the internet, as the kids would say. He makes a lot of the Hood Naruto, the Hood Cowboy Bebop, the Hood thing. He essentially, and we asked him about this during our interview, he essentially takes the live action aspect and doesn't fuck it up. So, or at least makes it interesting enough, and I think he knows what audience he's appealing to, and I think just in general, it's been amazing. So we got to talk to him, kind of like, you know, understanding his creative process, understanding how much he's put into it, what's inspired him, and all these other stuff like that. But before we get into that interview, let's talk about a little bit about the live experience of Anime NYC. So I can't remember. I feel like last year there was more people, but I could have just been taken aback by how many people there were. It may have normalized it for me this year, but there was a lot of people this year as well. I want to ask you a question, LJ.
What's up?
What do you think was the cosplay? What is the most popular cosplay that you've seen this weekend? Yes, this weekend. Because it's one that's clear in my head. I want to see if
really.
Yes, it's absolutely clear.
I guess I can't say I can't think of a single character off my head, but
you can say it. Go ahead.
No, I can't think of a single character.
No, you don't have to say the character.
Oh,
just
but there's a lot. There was a lot of Chainsaw Man.
Listen, man,
it was nothing but like,
Man year,
bro. It was nothing but Chainsaw Man stuff. Like
it was Chainsaw Man year. I think
Denji's, Makima's, power,
lots of power,
lots of power,
lots of Makimas, lots of Denjis. I saw this really cool Akai one. I'm trying to think. A lot of other good ones. There's a lot. I mean, there's quite a bit. I feel like yeah, it's Chainsaw Man. It's such a low stakes, like you can just go to Uniqlo and get yourself a white thing, a top. You could probably get the whole outfit at Uniqlo and then find a wig somewhere at Party City.
Nah, man, it was just really cool to see how much cosplay, and I actually have a chance to talk to some cosplayers because, you know, obviously you see what they post on the internet and you kind of just get an idea of like, oh, they're just dressing up, quote unquote.
Right.
But to hear about the process a lot of them went through of, a lot of them talking about making their own clothes and making their own props and I was just like, damn, you know, they were just breaking down like how much time went into each one. They're like, I was working on like 2-3 weeks of this.
Man.
And it gave me a deeper appreciation of the fact that they take the time to do all that.
This just showed me how big Chainsaw Man is. Realistically, like Chainsaw Man is probably, I wouldn't say, it's definitely like the number one anime kind of like hype and popularity right now. I wouldn't say it's in terms of like best and all this other stuff. I mean, that's up to thing, but I think because of how many, usually every year we see one that's like, okay, there's a lot of this. And I think last year there was a lot of Attack on Titan. Last year there was a lot of Jujutsu Kaisen. But this year I think was definitely dominated by Chainsaw Man. I think even with the anime coming out, the manga, and I think it's just because it's just easy to have. Like niggas just dress in suits every day. They probably took their work
suits,
shit.
and then I saw a lot of really cool helmets.
I saw I forgot her name. It's that girl who's afraid in Chainsaw Man who was serving the burger and the fries, and then this is wild spoilers, by the way. But not
the manga one?
Yeah. So I saw that, and I was like, oh, that's cute. Let's see. What else was super popular this weekend? I mean, a
lot of One Piece. One Piece was crazy this year.
One Piece was definitely crazy. It's just everyone loves it.
It's really cold and just like mad shirtless people like doing the Luffy and the Zolo.
I mean, you're always going to see the Akatsuki. Is it Akatsuki? Am I saying it right?
The Naruto joint? Yeah, I mean, that's
regular.
That's because you can get a fit off. All you really need is the robe.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, that's kind of all you need. So, no, so those are super popular this weekend. In terms of like entities that was super popular, we did not get to see Isayama Sensei.
Well, that's because you were doing big dog stuff. And you were on a panel.
We were at the Toonami panel. Shout out to everyone who came through. It was a packed house.
I was
very surprised. I was very surprised that all the seats were taken for that panel. But people loved Toonami and people loved us, reminiscing about Toonami. So shout out to Cheyenne, shout out to Elijah, shout out to, Victoria hosting it and everyone that showed up. But I think the big thing this weekend was that where everyone was losing their minds. It was like Michael Jackson just came through the building. Was Isayama, creator of Attack on Titan, showing up in the United States for the first time and really having his panel. You got the big room, the big dog room, the one with the ventilation, the AC, probably has phone service, unlike everywhere else in this damn Javits Center. But you got the big dog room. And he spilled a lot.
It out.
Yeah, he talked a lot. He talked about a lot of Western influences on Attack on Titan. He talked about Breaking Bad and what else did he say? So another show that I texted this to J5 last night too, because he was just like, it's one of his favorite fucking shows. Better Call Saul. Yes, he was influenced by that and a lot of things for Attack on Titan. So I thought that was cool as fuck. We saw Trigun.
Oh my god.
The new Trigun Stampede. Listen, y'all.
Y'all's in for something really special. It's special.
Yeah, this is my first. I only saw the first episode of the last Trigun. I didn't even go to like really past that. But this one was really good. It's a lot of new animation. I mean, completely new animation. I mean, it is like a fucking video game at this point. But it's really, I think everyone stayed very true to the characters and who they are, even if there is a new look for Vash. But everything was fucking fire.
No, it was amazing, and I think a cool thing that the producers were talking about was how this Trigun series happens after like the Trigun manga is finished. So the original series is running at the same time as the manga. So it allows them to use a lot more of the source material. And I mean, just them them showing us like the first drafts of, and their inspirations behind building this world. It was just amazing. It just to see them and see how they worked it out.
You stepped into the Kaguya Sama Love is War.
Yes.
Talk about that.
So that panel was really great. They had the voice actor of the lead girl, and I don't know why I'm blanking on it. But then they had two of the producers. And
Google is free.
Yeah, Google is free. Yeah, y'all know who. But no, it was really cool because they how they set up the panel was they broke it down season by season. So they spent one part of the panel talking about season 1, and then at the end of that, they would they would have a video call with one of the other voice actors, and ask them a couple questions, and that would lead to them talking about season 2 and season 3, you learn so much about their creative processes and how they were able to take something and just make it alive. I think one of the cool things that they talked about too was how much emphasis they put on the opening and endings credits for each season, and how they were just like, we wanted the opening and ending credits to be just as lively and just like as part of the show. And I don't know why it was very interesting to me for them to think about it in that way. But then they showed a first part of the movie that will be releasing in February, and y'all are in for a treat. It happens just after the moments at the end of season 3. And if you've watched season 3 and you know how that season ends, they automatically just put you right into it. So yeah, I think it was a great panel though. So, you know, it's cool seeing the people who are creating this, you know, anime for us be so passionate about it. Like they're just fans just like us.
Right.
And so it's cool when you're like seeing that and you understand why they put so much effort towards what they do.
No, absolutely. So there was a lot of first looks this thing. They showed a lot of first episodes of like brand new animes or animes people haven't seen. Crunchyroll really came forward. Hypeland was a very big presence here this year.
Because they had 4 pop-ups,
like
they 4 different locations.
They sponsored this con, like, so
yeah.
The staff T-shirts are Hypeland T-shirts. The shit, I wouldn't be surprised if the bathrooms are presented by Hypeland at this point, because they got everything there. They premiered those new bags. Now, I love the bags. I love the bags, but $120 is like, I can afford it, but I don't really want to. Like, I'm gonna wait till
you could have got the bag.
It's $120.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
It's all good.
That's a Metro card, a monthly Metro card at that. Like,
you got it though.
You know what? It's the holiday season. I have to look out for gifts for other people as well, because it's in the spirit of giving, not receiving. Even though I can give it myself, and I can also receive it myself. But I'll come back to those bags. I think, because the thing is, I wouldn't use the bags. I would just have it in my room and it would just stay there. But we'll come back to those bags. But Hypeland, very big presence here. Lots of great stuff. Gundam. Whew.
Yeah. If you wanted anything special limited, this was the place to be.
Yeah.
This was the place to be. They had so much Gundam and gunplay and builds. It was if you're a person that was in it, was heavenly how much stuff they had. And it was cool how they did each drop. They're doing like limited drops each day, so you had to be here on Saturday to get this, and had to be there on Friday to get this. So man, it was great experience. Probably the most. Then they had the Hathaway, but I had to leave 20 minutes in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I would say probably the most prominent thing that everyone noticed or may not have noticed. There are no lines this year to get inside. I mean, there's lines everywhere inside. But there are no lines to get inside. There aren't the struggle bus lines of everyone standing outside in below 32 degree weather waiting like they did last year. They managed to fix this thing. Not everyone got into every damn panel, but they could let you in. They let you in. But it was a really great experience. And Anime NYC, once again, they did it again. We're gonna have to make a call to Peter and be like, listen, man, y'all did the damn thing. I need more credentials next time. I need to be able to. I don't want them, like, if I'm doing press and covering this event and we talking about this, I don't want to have to half-ass it. But nonetheless, a really, really good event.
A very black event.
I mean, there's a lot of black people here.
There is, but like, it was crazy to see.
Black people love anime. And the reason
y'all had the blackest panel too.
It's not lost on me the popularity of it surging in the anime right now, and the amount of black people featured and doing creative content and being voice actors and doing all these other things, hosting panels and all the other stuff. It's not lost on me.
Anime NYC is the blackest anime convention.
I wouldn't say that. I don't know. The Atlanta one looked very black.
Man, this one was black though. Listen, I love it though. Man, I love how like you go to these anime cons. There is. Listen, our people are there, and that's fun. That's cool as hell to me, because once again, in this space, in this place, like you see people who look like you, who are creating the content, doing the stuff, doing the cosplays, and just taking it to a whole nother level. Like, even like, man, shout out to Carlos and the Shonen Pump thing of like the little thing, like the fact that we're able to take this anime stuff and make it fucking 100 million times cooler because of how we put our spin on things. That's just beautiful.
So there are probably still more things to do here. A couple more things. So we're not going to take up any more time because we got this big interview with King Vader that we want to have. But thank you guys for tuning in this week. You can listen to The Lookout on RNC Radio, everywhere you find podcasts. I've learned of so many other different Black anime podcasts, and I'm like, I don't know you guys exist, but you guys are out there, and I'm glad that everyone is thriving, doing their thing, and everyone has press credentials to go to this because, for instance, what's the other one? New York Comic Con, they were like, no niggas allowed in this press. None of your little back outside boy podcast can get inside the New York Comic Con. But I'm glad that Anime NYC realizes that inclusivity, diversity, and all these other voices need to be kind of promoted at this thing. So it's amazing. Again, like I was saying, if you want to listen to the podcast, The Lookout on RNC Radio. You can follow us at The Lookout on RNC on Twitter. You can follow myself at Meelz TV. You can follow LJ at LJ on Twitter. And stay tuned. Up next is our big interview with King Vader. Only on The Lookout. Actually, probably mad places, but if you're hearing this, you're only hearing it on The Lookout. So we'll see you guys next week. Here's the interview. Take care.
Right now, I feel like it's cold with a little wind. But I've been here where the wind was smacking me. Like, I had to turn around.
Like your nerves is dying when
it's like, it was so hard that I had to turn around and walk backwards for like 2 blocks.
You found the water too, so that's going to hit you even harder.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm going to get there eventually,
So I guess I'm breaking the ice. It is a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to say that it's an honor to be with one of the most explosive young talents that has literally been a Swiss Army knife as far as like talent goes, like producing, acting, directing, like the whole ensemble.
Thank you.
So I wanted to ask, how did this come to be? Like, how did King Vader born, and how was King Vader born? Like, how did you like get to acting, and when did you realize this was your career choice and your path in life, basically?
Thank you again. Really great question. I feel like I don't know, like I didn't have all this like planned out. It kind of naturally molded itself. It started from not knowing what I wanted to do, and meeting someone who had an idea of what they wanted to do, and they kind of introduced me to like what they loved, and through them showing me what they loved, I found out what I loved, which was like filming and editing and directing and stuff like that. After that, I hopped on Vine. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Vine, you know what I'm saying? The 6 seconds of fame, he was out there. And it was cool. It was a good time. I hopped on Vine because I used to have a web series with my younger brother. Shout out to I Am Dices. And we had a web series, and eventually, like, I'm not going to say like all, but like 50% of them, we end up splitting apart, right? So after we split apart, I was kind of like trying to, in a sense, prove myself, like, I can be funny, I can make my own videos. So I went over to Vine, and that's kind of how I found like I became more independent. Like, this is like where I can, be me. So shout out to King Batch, because when I was on the app, all I saw on the feed was like King Batch. He was just making new videos. He was dominating. He was doing this thing. And I saw like he really moved like how a king moves. So I'm like, wow, like, if he could be King Batch, then I could be King Vader. And that's kind of where the story started. And from there, it was just about trying to find out who I am, the things I like, and how I can make a path for myself in this world. And here we are, Anime NYC, about to premiere something in a room, answering questions, cameras everywhere, mics everywhere. I've got to direct for Netflix. I have a mini series for them. I worked at Comedy Central. The list, I worked with Google, I worked with Domino's, the list goes on. And it's just, it's a blessing, because like all this started from just like falling in love with something, like my dream. And all of these blessings have came from it. So yeah, that's how it all started.
Thank you.
Since you became a film director / actor, how has life been treating you? And did you ever imagine getting to this level of content creation?
I feel like, life has its adversities. It's like I said, it's definitely a blessed life to be in. And I don't know, it's like, I never thought I'd be able to like go to conventions and like meet supporters and like, sign stuff. Like I'm signing skateboards and shirts and Funko Pops. I'm like, well, this is crazy. Like what's happening? People have made like action figures of me. I'm getting drawn in like comics, and all this have, started because I just decided to do something different. And I guess it always makes me think about back in high school, when I was doing the Vines, like I'd have people like walk up to me and literally to my face, your videos suck. And I'm just like, wow. And the thing is like, I could have took what they said and like just stopped because like someone didn't like my videos. But now it's like we live in a day where that can happen all the time, like 40, 30, like people can just hit you up and be like, oh, I don't like this. But it's like, there's always that massive group of people who actually support and like love what you do, and what you do like actually impacts them in different ways. And I feel like that impact is something that I never would have thought I would have had from just like making 6-second videos in my, starting from making 6-second videos in my phone to now, directing stuff for Netflix. And I just recently dropped a feature-length film. It was a horror film on my YouTube, and it's called Don't Disrespect Halloween. And I never even thought I'd touch the horror genre, but here we are today. So I feel like this is a lifestyle that just is kind of unpredictable, and I'm just kind of I'm winging it, if you will, and just walking along the thin ice. I'm kind of running at this point, and it's not cracking, so I'm like, hey, we out here. So yeah.
I guess I'm next. I'm Justin, by the way, everybody. First and foremost, I just want to say, I don't know you like that, but I'm very proud of you. Like, as a young black creator, as a filmmaker, just good job if ain't nobody tell you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
My question pertains to kind of the landscape of where we are in anime and social media right now. Because I know a lot of people in this room, especially me, when we were younger watching Toonami, this wasn't cool, bro. Like, this wasn't cool. Let me tell you, I was used to Your Meshi when I was 11. They thought I was the Jolly Green Giant from the beginning. We came a long way. So my question to you is, why do you think that kind of like shifted into like today's society? It's kind of, did I say mainstream?
No, you can. That's the word to use now.
Did I say mainstream?
Yeah.
Like, so what makes you think that shift occurred? Like, how did that shift occur in your mind? Like,
I mean, I feel like it started with all of us, the people who supported it from the beginning when, it wasn't cool, when it wasn't mainstream, when it was something that you just watched at your house alone, maybe with a couple friends that you trusted, and you talk about it very quietly at the lunchroom tables. But now these are the first conversations you hear at all schools, at all places, TV, it's everywhere now. And I think it was just like the people who understood anime for what it was, and versus the people who just saw it as like, oh, those are just cartoons with like, crazy stuff going on, But it's like, nah, it's deeper than that, There's like deep lessons in these animes that like reflect real life, and like, if taken care of correctly, you can mold these lessons into your own life, and it could do a lot for you. And now I feel like people are starting to see that impact, and companies and all that stuff, you're starting to see that too. So anime becoming mainstream was just like something that was going to happen no matter what. But one thing that has shocked me, I'm gonna be honest, is seeing anime being merged into sports. That's something I never thought would be. NFL, like basketball, like ads, or like they made like an AOT trailer anime drawn for like what's happening in the season of basketball. I'm like, what is happening, But it's really cool to know like that's the impact that it's even pushed over to sports, which I think would be on the opposite side of the table from anime. But here we are shaking hands, so yeah.
Thank you.
Guess I'm next. Hi, got to speak earlier. Nice to meet you. You are definitely building like a huge. So sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay, here we go. With videos reaching millions of viewers, according to YouTube, you are part of the movement that helped launch the anime fandom. You helped them double the amount of views of anime-related content. What advice do you have for other young upcoming creators?
the advice I would tell them is like, when it comes to video creation and just chasing your dreams in general, you have to do it for you first off. And what I mean by that is like in the beginning, I didn't like have like a huge support group, like even the people closest to me like didn't have the biggest support, and that's like your family, your friends, And it's like I realized through that and through like watching Naruto is that self-belief is extremely important, especially in the beginning. You truly have to believe in yourself before anyone else can. Like you have to be the number one fan, and through that, it allowed me to not really take in like so much from the outside of like the negativity of like, oh, you shouldn't do that. Because the thing is like, if I would have listened to any of those people, like I wouldn't be here in front of you to even answer this question, So like, my biggest advice for those people is to realize that words are powerful. So, even when it comes to your dreams, like, protect those, because it's like, it's your dream, so, say it out loud, but also say it to the right people, because sometimes dreams are too big sometimes for certain people to wrap their minds around, and, that's why I also say to protect it. But the last thing I'll tell them is something I learned from listening to Will Smith. He says that those who say they can and those who say they can't are both usually right. You know what I'm saying? And that just goes back into how powerful words are. It's like, if you think you can do something, it's really up to you. And it's really up to you to make it happen. But the first step is saying it. And a long time ago, like, I said the certain stuff that I'd be doing today. And, I don't know, it's shocking to like be here in the moment. But like, I guess I am glad that like to know like through all the odds, like, your boy was right. So, yeah. Thank you.
So you might have been hinting at this, kind of as we've been talking about these things, but I'm really interested to know like a moment in anime or specifically Naruto that you feel like really impacted you and might have shaped how you are as a person today.
That's a really great question, by the way. There's a lot of Naruto moments, but like the one that I always look back to, like, because everyone isn't always their best self, right? Like, you have your great days and then you have days where, you just don't feel it, right? Certain days like that, there's this one specific scene I watch. It's from the first Naruto movie. I think it's The Land of the Snow. And basically it's this scene where Naruto is carrying the princess on his back. And they're walking in this tunnel that's on this train track. And, they're just having like this real heart-to-heart conversation. And then out of nowhere, legit out of nowhere, a train in this tunnel is now approaching them, from behind. So now it's like, we have to run. Naruto's already carrying someone on his back, but he still has the power to like sprint forward, right? So I think like already this sets up of like all the adversities that's already against his character. Like he's carrying someone, there's a train, we got like a mile left of running, we have to make it. But at the same time, she's on his back telling him like, you can't do this. What you're trying to do is impossible. Just give up. This man Naruto, while carrying her and running, he's like, I'm not giving up. He says, I'd rather die before I'm gonna give up. And then out of nowhere, he literally just says, he keeps saying, come on, come on, come on, come on. And he's like digging really deep down inside himself to find this willpower to keep running. And he legit begins to run faster and faster and faster and faster. And long story short, he makes out the tunnel, hits the ground, and this main character, Angie, of course, he literally just starts laughing. So it's like, all that says to me is like, he's faced against like some of the biggest adversities, like, set right now, at least, right? He's being told by the world, like, you cannot do this. What you're trying to do is impossible. And he could listen. He can literally submit. He could stop running and just accept fate. But instead, he's like, no, I decide like my own fate. I decide my own path. And I'm deciding that I'd rather die than give up. So that's not going to happen. And he legit pushes past himself in a way. And because I think that's one of the biggest things when it comes to like chasing our dreams or doing something that feels impossible, is like we are in our own way. And Naruto saw that he was in his own way and said, no, move out the way, I'm gonna handle this. And then after he did it, all he can do is sit there and laugh. And in my mind, I look at that scene and I'm like, he's just laughing like, I really can't believe I did it, but I'm glad that I did. And he's just gonna move on and do something else amazing next week. But like, I love that scene so much. And like every once in a while, my story, I'll always repost it. So yeah, thank you for asking that.
I guess I'll go next. Most of all, congrats on everything that you're doing. It's been great just seeing the amount of content that you're putting out there, and
thank you.
You know, I understand the pressure of like trying to put in that amount of content and having those positive and negative feedbacks as well. I just want to know, how do you handle all that? Like how do you handle that pressure?
So yeah, I mean, pressure is a great word for it, because I mean, for me, I truly care about like the content that I am making, you know, like, you know, each shot, each film, like my goal is always to make my next video my best video. And it's always a thing for me to like even reevaluate like my last couple of videos and see like where I went wrong, or how can I improve this, or how can I have better sound or better coloring. And a lot of people don't know, it's like I am the one who like edits these films, these projects, and puts them together. Like there's people around the world who thinks I just walk in front of a camera, I say lines, and then I go home. But it's like, no, I'm very hands-on to everything I create. And it's been like that since Vine, so naturally it just moved over to this. In the future, I mean, we're gonna see. Hopefully I can edit everything, but we're gonna see. But I feel like when it comes to like that pressure, you know, it's mostly about finding like what inspires you, you know? And for me, it's people like Naruto, it's people like Will Smith, it's people like Denzel Washington, it's people like The Rock, it's people like Jim Carrey, and the list goes on and on and on, Kevin Hart, the list goes on and on and on. Another thing I do is to see where I'm going, I often look back at my past. So, you know, there's a lot of people who feel like, you know, I don't know, I'm not really making the moves I want to make, or I'm not really progressing like how I want to progress, and I don't think I'm really like making it. Like maybe I should stop, I should quit. But one thing a lot of people don't do is a lot of people don't like look back at their past. Like on my Instagram right now, you can go on my page, and most of my old posts are all there. And a lot of my friends and a lot of people on social media, they delete all of their posts. They probably have like 6 posts because they want to, you know, have this look. This is what it is. But for me, it's like, nah, I want people to know, like, this isn't where it started. It started back there. And you're going to see every single photo and every single mess up and failure that I had to do to succeed in a way, you know? Because that's truly important. And I feel like for me, to see where I'm going, I have to see where I started. So I kind of, every once in a while, I can get like that check that, you know, you're doing your thing, you know, remember what you were doing back here? Like, no, we're not doing that no more. And like, you can literally compare your progress like that. So I think, you know, that's kind of like how I keep the pressure at bay. Another thing I do is I listen to motivational speakers and stuff. The reason why specifically, like I was saying, there's good days, there's bad days. On my good days, most good days, I start off by listening to motivational speakers, most of the people I just named and more. And, you know, at first, I don't know, I just did because, you know, it kind of is like that confirmation, like, you know, that you're not crazy. It's like, wow, like, this person thinks exactly how I think. And, like, it's very easy to think negatively about yourself. I feel like that's something humans are just gifted at for some reason. But when you have those bad days, I feel like by listening to motivational speakers, those are the ideas and the thoughts that are rotating in my mind instead of the negative ones. And yeah, that's kind of like this. It helps keep everything afloat, keeps everything moving. So yeah.
LJ from the Lookout RNC. Appreciate you for giving us this time, bro. So live action movies are quite polarizing when it comes to audience response. What do you think has been the reason your films have been so well received in comparison to like a major studio or, you know, live actions have been tried in the past?
Because they usually suck. There's a large amount of people who think your work doesn't suck.
Yeah. Thank you. And so I think the biggest reason behind it is the approach that I have is from an approach of a supporter and a fan of the source. I feel like when I'm making these films and these projects, it is to make a love letter to these animes and to these IPs and stuff like that. So I don't know, I feel like, you know, studios, they see the hype of anime and they try to monetize off of that hype. But like, you know, I think if they focus on the content first, if they focus on making the good product first, the good love letter first, then, you know, the monetization, that should always be second. And I feel like what happens most days is that people are seeing that the monetization is being put first, and it leaves the content to kind of get, you know, thrown to like, it's whatever, like it kind of looks like it, right? You know, it feels like it maybe a little bit, no? All right. And me, it's like, you know, like I said, like I'm a fan. Like these are things that have inspired me. If I'm making like a video on like an anime thing or a Marvel thing or anything, is because like something in that film inspired me to like, you know, I was like, I love this scene. It was personal. It touched me. I felt something. And yeah, so I feel like that's the angle I come from it, you know.
Clay from Analytical.
Yes, sir.
Podcast. My question for you is, you make a lot of videos, a lot of content. You have tons of fans and other creatives that look up to you. Have you ever had a creative slump? And what was your process of breaking out of that? And what advice would you give to anybody who's a content creator that has trouble coming up with their own original ideas?
So yeah, I feel like creative slumps happen to everyone. I mean, I feel like everyone's advice about it is different. One of my main ones is definitely, so I passively write ideas all the time. Like whenever you have an idea, you shouldn't just hold it. You should just get it out. For me, it's very chaotic. It's either in my notes or it's in voice recordings. Sometimes I'm saying in the corner of the room, just talking to myself, and it's because I'm just saying the idea out loud, literally going down the shots, the angles, the ideas. Like I'll say the whole thing. That's like if it's too complex to sit here and like type, because like sometimes when I type I get too detailed and I'm all like, make sure like that's a low angle hero shot and make sure you got the wide lens on it. I'm like, I don't need to be telling myself that, but I also don't want to forget it because it's very important. So I feel like, you know, passively having your ideas out all the time is really good, because when you're in that creative slump, you have something to look back at and be like, okay, I'm hyped, let me go ahead and do this. This is something I've been having in the back burners. Besides that, it goes back to looking at your old stuff, you know, just realizing where you are right now compared to where you was, you know, and just know like you're on the right path, because you can see the difference, you know. Like there's no one who's been like creating content for 5 consistent years and really working, right? And like there's no one who's gonna tell me like, oh, my videos look exactly the same from 5 years. Like there's no way, you know. You like, especially if you're watching people and like, you know, you're studying, like you're going to find ways to invest in yourself. And I feel like that's probably like why I'm as far as I am, is because like, you know, I could take a lot of like the money I get and, you know, buy the cars and the shoes and the chains and the grills. I could do all that, but instead I use like a lot of the money I receive to put back into the films that I want to create for people. Because like at the end of the day, I'm doing what I love, you know, and it's a blessing to do that all the time, you know. I think I was saying it not too long ago. It's like, you know, doing what you love is like, it's like a dream, right? So it's like, you know, I'm literally living in this dream, and like, you know, to wake up and to be able to inspire and impact people who aren't even like here, like just someone across the world who's seen my videos, and I don't know what that did for them, you know, but it's like, it's a dream of mine to like do what I love, and it also helps other people. So like, as long as like I'm in this dream, I don't really want to wake up from it. So yeah.
Hi. What's the with all your success, what's the ultimate end goal for you?
The ultimate end goal. So, for a very long time, the goal has been to be one of the greatest directors of my generation. And like, you know, that's just always been the goal. And for me, it's like setting a big goal that seems impossible now. So when you achieve it, it seems even, I don't know, it seems even more grand, you know? Like Naruto wanted to become a Hokage, Luffy wanted to be the Pirate King, you know? And yeah, so like that's always been the goal, you know, to become one of the greatest directors and to have films in theaters. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, to me, like that is the ultimate dream. I feel like I wanted to create a title for it, and it's a working title. It is a working title, but the title is The Director King, and that's something that I want to make a reality. It's the first time I've ever said that out loud. So, you know, words are powerful, and one day I will become the Director King. So, yeah. Thank you.
We're not gonna have time for everybody. So goes, yeah, whatever quick question you guys have.
When's the documentary coming?
Soon, 2024, latest, promise.
And the audio books.
You have to ask my manager.
So since a bunch of people did intros, Tunji, UAL, Urban Anime Lounge. Also, comment like my man's. I appreciate that you put your phone on the floor so that nothing disturbs you while you talk to us.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And again, everybody, I feel like everybody proud of you. So,
Yeah. Thank you.
How did it feel to have your first movie premiere at DreamCon? And what are some other Black creators that you feel like we should be on the lookout for?
So, first off, I mean, let me start off with the creators. All of my friends, like, I feel like I'm gonna miss a lot of them, but just off the top of my mind, there's Caleb Say, there's Lenar, there's RDC, there's Wolf Graphic, there's I Am Dices, of course, there's Heartstop Lucas, there's the amazing Writer Boy. Man, I don't want to blank. There's Kara Please, there's Crystal, there's Becca, there's Taylor. I don't want to blank. There's Berlizzi. There's I Am Dante. Listen, anybody you see at DreamCon, you need to support them, period. Period. That's the lineup and more. But literally, like, all those people I get to share that stage with, it's so inspiring because it's like, you know, these are people like I talk to all the time, you know, like every day, like type B, like, you know, we're just always seeing each other, supporting each other on social media and stuff like that. But we always get to come together. Well, since, you know, all the dark age stuff recently, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's been hard to, like, you know, connect and see each other and all that. But, you know, it's all love and things of that nature. But, like, every person I get to share that stage with, you know, they're all individually amazing at everything they do. And it's just inspiring to, like, be on the stage, a part of, like, what feels like the next generation of, like, you know, creatives of color. And, you know, we're just out here, like, making a difference. Like, it used to just be the VidCons and all that, but now it's like, here's the DreamCon, you know, and it's like, it's very empowering, and I love being in that moment. And like every time I just feel like I'm just here with friends, but like we're at like a convention and we're talking to supporters, but then we go backstage and we're playing video games, and then we go on stage and we play video games. So, you know, it's just cool. And all those people are just, you know, very special. And like I think they're all talented, and I think those are going to be the people who are going to be some of the biggest stars in this world one day. So be on the lookout for them.
First half, sorry.
Oh, and then the first half, sorry. I got lost in that because I knew I was going to get lost in year one. But yeah, premiering the first time at DreamCon was like, it was mind blowing, because the thing is, I've been there every single DreamCon, so the stage have been bigger, bigger, bigger. So like, you know, shout out to like RDC for like giving me that stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the boys right there. Like, man, I could say so many good things about them, but like, it's really dope to like see that they know, like, you know, that I love filmmaking and like I love premiering. It was like an idea like I presented to them like at the first one, and now it's just like it's a thing. It's like, here's a King Vader premiere. I'm like, oh, it's that, you know. So like for me, I really appreciate that they give me that stage, and like going out there and like seeing so many people like here to like watch something I created. It's like something that I can never get used to. I feel like every stage I go on, I'm always gonna be a bit nervous. I have to go out there, like even here, like I was a bit nervous. I'm not gonna hold you. Like y'all stepped in, like I was like, oh snap, what's going on? You know, the cameras start getting set up. But for me, like I always gotta break the ice by saying something crazy or something. And once everyone laughs, I'm like, all right, we home. We in the living room with it, you know. So you know, at the most recent one, I premiered Hood Jujutsu Kaisen, and it was crazy. Just seeing like the reactions to that, and next year I plan on premiering Hood Naruto the movie 2, which the teaser trailer is dropping here at Anime NYC, so you know, be on the lookout. And I plan to just go out and show out and, you know, go to the next level. We are going to be doing the Momoshiki fight, so be on the lookout.
All right, so real quick, one of my favorite skits and clips of yours is the Hood Cowboy Bebop series, for sure. And honestly, all of the anime skits have been like my favorites. But another thing that I feel like okay, so let me rephrase the question. So there's a lot of skits that you've done that are anime based, and one skit that is based on a game that I recall is the one that you did with Genshin Impact. Yeah, we used that Luke and everything. That was really, really sick, by the way.
Thank you.
But do you have any plans on working with games more than anime recently? Like, is there any dream game that you would want to make a skit or a movie based on that's like, you know, something that you're a fan favorite of?
I love that question. So recently, I got to do an ad for Gotham Knights. And I tell you, I was so excited. And I killed that video. I'm not going to hold you. Like, I watch that video every once in a while. I'm like, yeah, we did that. Yeah, you know? And it's like, I love, like, to be able to advertise something that, like, I, like, at home, like, play on the regular and stuff like that. Like, certain ads are like that, certain ads are not. But this one was, like this, like, not only is this Gotham Knights, this is DC, this is Batman lore, like, this is Gotham City. Like, I'm like, let's go. So, yeah, I think video games is very much a part of, like things that I love and inspired by as far as like movies and video games and animes. So in the future, two video games I'm gonna name drop right now that I would love to do something for. That's Multiverses, because that's everything. Yeah. And then that's Elden Ring. Because listen, if I did an Elden Ring video, Elden Ring is a game that it broke me down. And I had to rebuild myself. and I love the process because like I've never played a game that was like so humbling, you know, and I'm like, wow. Like the you like you're dead or you died screen, that is like a part of like me now because I've seen it so many times, you know. So but in that process I just learned to love the game. I learned to love that sport, and I would love to do something for both of those games. And yeah, I mean games in general, I love video games. So yeah, thank you for that was a good question.
Thank you.
Do we have time for another question?
One last question.
All right. It's a real quick phone now. So it's the end of the world.
Okay.
Right? Actually, it's the end of the universe.
End of the universe. That's even bigger.
We need Vader to save us all. I know it's not just about anime; it's also about comic book characters too. So pick your 3 comic book characters and your 3 anime characters
that can save the world.
That can save the world.
I could choose one, and it would be over. I would just say Dr. Manhattan, and then like the world is saved, you know. That's so like, where do I go from there? Like. Dr. Manhattan, throw Ben 10 in there for some reason, throw Naruto. Like, any other character can just relax, you know, like, chill out, bro. Like, Naruto, you know, let's throw Ichigo, let's throw Luffy in there. But I'm throwing the big 3 in there just so they can chill out while Dr. Manhattan, Alien X.
Do you think Naruto would let Dr. Manhattan just do his shit? Like,
but the thing is, Naruto won't really have a choice, you know? Like, Dr. Manhattan is like, it's fixed, and I don't know why his character's like that, but it just is. So, you know, I don't know.
Nah, you just broke the cheat code. That is the answer.
He is the cheat code, you know? I don't know why he's made like that, but he just is. And same with Alien X. Jesus Christ. But yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Saved.
Universe saved, you know what I'm saying? So if it's up to me and my choices, I got y'all. Yeah. I got you. That's it. Thank you guys. Thank you.